leagues. They've been in communication with the White House task force. They've always paid attention to what's going on, not just in the scientific world, but in the sports world. And so I can tell you just in the past few days in talking to medical people with multiple teams, there certainly are, if not concerns, questions about some of the things that we're seeing right now in other sports. You had a bunch of the Yankees who had been vaccinated, tested positive recently. You have Olympic athletes who are vaccinated, who are testing positive. It raises questions in an environment where vaccines are not mandated for NFL players. You're going to have unvaccinated players in every locker room. So what are going to be the best practices here? They've obviously got a series of guidelines that have been highly publicized in terms of the differences between vaccinated and unvaccinated players as they head into training camp. But testing vaccinated players only once every 2 weeks, is that going to be the best way to go about it? Are there certain restrictions that might need to go back into place? These are all questions that they're going to evaluate. Absolutely. There's going to be an evolution here. You said a couple or several memos last year. There were like dozens of memos.
So
There's 100 pages, and it drove people within the league absolutely nuts. Well, buckle up. There's going to be another series of that. It's a different set of challenges this time around. Of course, the NFL played every game last year. They did answer that first challenge.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about some of the under-the-radar names on the sidelines this season. Which coordinator would you say has the biggest opportunity in front of them?
The biggest opportunity is probably Todd Downing, the new Titans offensive coordinator. He replaces Arthur Smith, who goes to the Atlanta Falcons as their head coach. Downing, somebody who's been a coordinator in the league before. He was with the Oakland Raiders. He coached you in Detroit. One of the only guys in the league, probably, who's been a part of a 5,000-yard passing season with Matthew Stafford and the Lions, and a 2,000-yard rushing season with Derrick Henry in Tennessee.
And also was on the staff with Randy Moss, too.
That's right, in Minnesota back in the day. So you have a guy now coming in who knows the run scheme, because he was the tight ends coach, which was Arthur Smith's old job. He understands how that operates. He knows the formula that has made the Titans successful, and he knows their personnel. He also knows now he's got Julio Jones joining a team that has A.J. Brown on the other side and has Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. With opportunity comes pressure, but you certainly could see the opportunity here for them maybe to have a little bit more flexibility in terms of their approach, to open things up a little bit in the passing game here. If the Titans put up the type of numbers that they surely think they can with Julio Jones, don't be surprised if Todd Downing we're talking about as a head coaching candidate for 2022.
Wow. That AFC South is turgid, man. It's a great division. Tom, let's go above
what was
the
that
radar.
word?
Turgid. It means flush with talent, like a river.
What is that on your word of the day calendar?
Yeah, I've been waiting to use that one. I rip one off every day.
I thought you just slurred an actual word there, but no, go on.
Yeah.
No, I nailed it, by the way.
Turgid. That's what I wash my clothes with.
Some turgid.
Downy? That's good. So anyway, to the turgid talent in the AFC South, to the even more turgid river of the NFL. Above the radar, Tom, let's superstars. Big time. Which superstar player, quarterback, whoever you want, do you think has the hashtag most approved this year?
Odell Beckham Jr.
Interesting.
If you're talking about the 20 biggest superstars in the NFL right now, you're just making a list off the top of your head. Is Odell even sniffing that list?
No.
Is his name coming? If you're talking about the top 50 biggest stars in the NFL, are you putting Odell on that list? This is a guy who every year he's been in the NFL and played the full season, not gotten hurt, he's had over 1,000 yards. And that includes 2019 in Cleveland when everybody talked about he's not fitting in, he's not getting the ball enough, is he going to explode? We all know some of the emotional challenges that he had early on with the Giants. They haven't seen that in Cleveland. What they've seen in this offseason with him coming off of his injury is a guy who has been ahead of schedule the entire way. He stayed in contact with the team throughout his rehab process. Expect them to go easy on his reps early in training camp. They'd probably do that anyway. But he's still only 28 years old. He looked phenomenal in the offseason, running routes better at whatever 90+% he is than most guys can run them at 100%. Would not be surprised at all if Odell Beckham Jr. has a big bounce back year in Cleveland, which think about that. The Browns had a breakthrough season in 2020 without one of their best players on the field for most of it.
I love it. Can you spell turgid?
T-U-R-G-I-D.
Well done.
Not bad, right? It's a real word.
Sounding it out, spelling bee days coming back.
I had to try to put it in the old Google machine, like 18 different spellings.
Did you mean? Gotta be careful with that.
What? Yeah. We've got more.